Hope in the loss of a child. I have 3 sons, one in Leicester, one in Sheffield, and one in heaven. I would like to tell you about Alistair. Alistair was my firstborn, a good-looking child with a happy disposition. He and his best friend were born a week apart and remained friends for 27 years, although they were chalk and cheese to look at. Christopher was white blonde and Alistair really dark-haired. In his later teens, Alistair showed an aptitude for computer work, and his career took him to work for a software company in Dorking, Surrey. Alistair and his brothers were such a help to me when their father died, and in fact Al walked me down the aisle in 2009 when I married Peter in Kidderminster. And when Hugh, the vicar, asked, "Who gives this woman to be married?" all 3 jumped up and said, "We do!" During 2011, Alistair lost a lot of weight and seemed to lack physical energy, and after a blood test at the beginning of 2012, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, unusual for a 27-year-old. He spent 2 very precious weeks with us in Malvern, learning how to manage his diabetes with injections and changes to his diet, and the energy began to return. In February, he was with a colleague, delivering a computer server to a company in the Docklands area of London. At that company, in a lift, he collapsed. Although first aiders and then paramedics tried to revive him, it was to no avail, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. I had been volunteering in the bookshop at the Littleton Well when the first call came through, and Peter and I immediately set off for London. About half an hour into our journey, the calls stopped coming, until we were on the M40 crossing over the M25 when we had a call from the coroner. The last part of our travel to London was the worst I have ever experienced. Let's backtrack a little. Alistair had been brought up in a Christian home and attended church regularly with the whole family. In his teens, he decided he wanted to follow Jesus, and he was baptised and confirmed in our lovely church in Kidderminster. Although he didn't attend a church regularly when he was living away, I believe he never lost his faith. And I remember him discussing a recent sermon and saying it made him think a lot. But in the aftermath of his death, I wished I could be certain. He was buried in Great Malvern Cemetery, and following that we had a service of commemoration in Kidderminster, where the music group sang a song with the line, "Oh no, you never let go." I so longed to believe it. A few weeks later, we were back in Kidderminster to attend a worship and ministry day with some musician friends in a group called Epiphany. At one point during the day, we were sitting in a circle while the musicians improvised music around us. In my mind came a beautiful picture of Alistair in heaven. He was standing, smiling, looking so happy and looking down over us. Beside him was the figure of another man with his arm gently across our shoulder, looking like companions, mates. This man could have been Jesus. It could have been his father David. I don't know, and I don't think it matters. The picture was so vivid. In the quiet of my mind, I prayed, "Lord, if this picture is from you, then please confirm it." Within a minute, a lady violinist who I did not know and who did not know my circumstances came beside me and put her arm around my shoulder, just as in that picture. You can imagine my reaction. She, a lady named Hilary, was also moved as I told her what she had done. I don't need any more confirmation. I know that my Alistair is with Jesus in heaven, and that one day we will be reunited with him.